Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family and had the powers of Majin Buu. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of this series, and if you guys, you can say, have not checked them out, please guys do so, you guys will definitely like them. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this one as well. And yeah guys, if you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so, it would be a lot helpful to me. And yeah guys, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below, so please follow me on my Instagram. As well as, you can say, without any further ado, let's start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that in the whole elemental nations, all the elemental nations were taken off guard when a whole new continent appeared out of nowhere, as Jiraiya, who has just went off after the verbal beating he got from Minato for not looking after his godson and Minato's son Naruto, as he tried to get some information about the kid, where he actually was. After all, he did told his spy network to keep an eye on the kid or try to find him, as Jiraiya was hoping that his spy network found out about Naruto, but to his utter shock, as he was given the information about the, you can say, Imagine Empire, a new continent appearing out of nowhere, as how it was, you can say, said to be Imagine Empire, as Jiraiya quickly took the information to Minato, while on the other hand, in the elemental nations, all the cages were on edge, but it was a new opportunity for them as well, as they thought that since this, you can say, continent appeared out of nowhere, and which means that there, you can say, shinobis must not be that much powerful, and this continent is even bigger than that of, you can say, the five nations. So it was a great opportunity for all the elemental nations, so they decided to invade it, as they saw that how sending the shinobi, as but to their utter shock, you can say, all the nations sent their best to, you can say, give the surrender terms to this so-called Martian Empire. They thought that since they were a new continent, they did not have crops and things like that, the technological advancement or nothing of such sort. So it would be easy for those people to hand over the, you can say, the empire to the different nations and countries. So they sent their best men to threaten them and things like that. But Naruto put them, you can say, in their position, as Naruto already knew that what would actually happen since the other nations would try things, while on the other hand Naruto in this time was growing in power and magical powers as well. His power was really something else at the moment. He could easily access the great amount of power of the Majin Buu, and let me remind you, even Tsunade's super strength is next to nothing when you have to remember when Kid Buu and Goku fought, you can say, they were able to destroy a planet just by fighting their immense power. Let's not, you can say, forget about the blast they could actually make. And all that power is in the hands of Naruto now. As Naruto was, you can say, getting stronger while absorbing these Kekigenkais, it was nothing. As he was even able to evolve the Sharingan into its final form without even need of the Senju DNA because of his magical powers which he gained, pushing the eye into its maximum potential, as which was the Rinne's Sharingan, as Naruto was able to activate that. To be honest, he did not care much about it because these powers, these abilities, were nothing compared to his original true power and magical powers. While on the other hand, he was able to recruit many shinobis, even the civilians, who Naruto shared some of his great magical powers with, were on the level of, you can say, samurai, or if not to that level, they were easily can take on Ganins, no problem whatsoever. While on the other hand, the Jonins and Junins, all of them had a fragment of Naruto's power, so they were really powerful. While on the other hand, Zabuza also joined Naruto when Naruto easily defeated him and offered him a position in the whole his empire, as after figuring out that how he was betrayed by the, you can say, rebellion forces, as by mate Rumi, and who wanted to be the next Mizuke, so she sent him on that mission to take care of Yagura, already knowing that, and even leaking the information of Zabuza trying to kill him to Yagura, as Zabuza was betrayed by mate Rumi as well as his own nation, so he decided to join Naruto's new empire, which was even bigger than the Mace, or you can say, the most prosperous nation known as the Fire Country in the whole elemental nations, while on the other hand, He was able to take on many of the shinobis as he was easily above the level of Kisame Hoshigaki after obtaining a small fragment of Naruto's power. So yeah guys, that was the last part where we left off as we saw that how Naruto was decimating the forces of, you can say, Kumo, as Killer B was at his, you can say, full transformation, as well as Yujito, as Naruto was simply looking towards and smirking as Killer B released a Biju Dama towards Naruto, as well as you can say, Yujito put her blue flames into it, trying to make it stronger as Naruto smirk as he put his hand towards the attack as both Yujito and Killer B smirk, thinking that how their power would easily evaporate him, and after that it would be easy to take over this whole nation and things like that. But to their utter shock and horror, the Biju Dama started to shrink in Naruto's hand, and after some time, all the shinobis of Kumo were looking towards it at utter horror, while on the other hand, the shinobis of Naruto were simply smirking towards it. They already knew the power of their lord and how powerful he actually was. There was no way in hell that these stupid Jinchurikis are gonna win whatsoever. As Naruto simply smirked as the ball was nothing small, you can say a tiny flame in his hand, as Naruto simply pushed his hand upward and how all the energy simply dispersed as Naruto simply looked towards both of them. Is that all? As now Jujito and Killer B were scared as Killer B speak up, Yujiro, you have to leave now. I will try to stall for the time. This so-called emperor is too much powerful than we previously thought. As Yujiro said, no, we cannot do that. We are at our full power, the full tail beast transformation. We can take him on together. As Killer B simply shook his head, go for now, Yujiro. As Yujiro grated her teeth, but she had no chance whatsoever, as Naruto said, and who told you you can leave? Suddenly, several chains erupted from the ground surrounding both Yujiro and Killer B, slamming them to the ground as it started to, you can say, suppress their chakra. But Naruto snapped his finger, the chains disappeared. As Naruto said, well, I don't want to end this battle just this way, as Naruto once again snapped his finger as suddenly a barrier appeared on the whole empire, as all the shinobis who has entered into the empire are now trapped inside, as Naruto simply smirked, after all, we have a lot of fun things to do, right? As a smirk came to Naruto's face, as suddenly Killer B tail was grabbed by him as Naruto started to spin him around as Yujiro tried to help him, but not so through the Killer B airtail farm, slamming it into Yujito, sending both of them flying as Naruto made a small pink blast in his hand as lightning started to surround it as Naruto released the attack as it slammed into the airtail body and suddenly boom! As a blast occurred, as the blasted body of both Yujito and Killer B reverted back into human form, slamming to the ground as all the forces of the Kumo were decimated as Naruto looked towards all of them, snapping his finger as all of them started to float within the mid-air as Naruto simply smirked. As he put his hand forward as pink lightning started to surround his hand as all the shinobis watched in utter surprise, as well as, you can say, more amazement, all the shinobis of Naruto, of course, as all the shinobis of Kumo turned into pure utter dust and flew into the air, while on the other hand, Yujito and Killer B were watching it at utter horror. The force of 500 shinobi were decimated. The ultimate weapons of the Kumo were lying on the feet of this emperor as Naruto simply looked towards them with a smirk on his face, while on the other side, Aiwa Shinobi was simply looking towards as one Naruto or a copy of Naruto, since Naruto divided his body into 4 parts with equal power, as was smirking towards them, as well as, you can say, 200 shinobis behind him as Aiwa Shinobi Han stepped forward as he said, we are sent here by the Tsuchikage with the terms of surrender, as Naruto said, oh really now? So what are the terms given to you by your Tsuchikage as Han threw the scroll towards Naruto, who grabbed it and started to read it. So these are the terms, huh? Well, full surrender as providing shinobis, the kids, as well as all the bloodlines were to be given to Aiba, as well as the whole budget of, you can say, over 70% budget would be given to Aiba and other bullshit like that. As Naruto read it all, as Naruto said, oh really now? Alright, I will agree to that on one condition. Of course, my own conditions. As Han raised an eyebrow, and what would that be? Conditions, as he said. But of course, Iva would give 90% of the budget to the Empire. Iva would provide all the shinobis. Iva would, you can say, release the name of the shinobi status. Iva would, you can say, banish all the bloodline users from its ranks. Iva would give almost all the scrolls that are given to them, all the secrets of it, to the nation. Iva will not try to defend itself when any of the nation try to attack it, of course. While on the other hand, after hearing those terms, as all the, you can say, Iva shinobi were bristling with pure utter anger as Naruto was simply looking towards them with a mocking look on his face. Naruto's own shinobi started to laugh at that as Han and Roshi were furious at that. As they said, alright, you stupid brat, we have enough of you. Alright, shinobis, charge! As all of the shinobi rushed towards the shinobis of Naruto, as while on the other hand Naruto's shinobi simply smirked as pink aura surrounded them, as they also bring out their techniques as whole forces started to attack each other. As this was a force of 700 against, you can say, only the force of 200, as Naruto simply smirked, well, I'll be taking on you too. As Roshi scarf, of course, will be taking on you. As he rushed towards him with one tail cloak behind him, as he tried to, you can say, simply end this battle as quick as possible, trying to punch Naruto, as he was able to make contact with his face, smirking, thinking that how he has taken down the Emperor so easily. But to his surprise, as Naruto was simply looking towards him with bored expression on his face, as he grabbed his face with such force that Roshi was feeling the power on his wrist, really. As Naruto simply moved his hand from his face as he said, "Is that all, huh? Well, I must say that you're quite weak." As Roshi gritted his teeth, enough of that, as he moved, trying to use his taijutsu, while on the other hand Naruto was dodging and weaving through the attacks like they were nothing. As Naruto was simply smirking, while on the meantime, Han also realized that Roshi needed the help, so he quickly started to use the power of his Biju, rushing towards Naruto as both of them tried to use their taijutsu on Naruto, while on the other hand Naruto simply put his hand on his, you can say, kunai pouch and bring out a book as both of them, you can say, move back as Naruto bring out, you can say, the Aika Aika Paradise, as he simply looked towards Han and Roshi with a bored expression. Don't let me disturb you. You may continue. As both of them were quite surprised for some time, shocked, but then anger quickly took place. This so-called emperor was mocking them as both of them finally had enough, as they started to use three-tailed chakra each as both of them rushed towards Naruto, while on the other hand Naruto was doing the same thing which Kakashi did to original Naruto in the canon, weaving through the attacks like they were nothing, jumping over their heads as Han and Roshi made some distance as Han was getting angry as he quickly go through hand sign and he said, steam style, as he released, you can say, a gigantic stream of steam towards Naruto, boiling steam, trying to boil him or destroy his body as Naruto simply looked towards, you can say, the attack and flick his finger as a gust of wind quickly sent all the, you can say, attack towards the shinobi of Iva who were caught off guard, quickly, you can say, captured within the attack as Han speak up, no, as but it was already too late as over 15 shinobis died quickly as Roshi was now angry at that. I have enough of you, as you will pay for that, as he slammed his hand together as chakra started to surround his body, as Naruto simply looked towards them with bored expression on his face as a smirk came to his face as Han also started to release his chakra as both of them transformed into the full form of their bijus, as Naruto simply smirked at that. While on the other hand, Sand Shinobis were already on the ground as one Naruto was simply looking towards them with bored expression. He did not even participate since there was no Jinchuriki, and their best Shinobi, which was, you can say, Baki, was already on the ground sweating and, you can say, blood steaming from his body. Naruto's 50 Shinobi were easily able to take down 250 Shinobi sent by the whole sand. As Naruto said, well, these sand shinobis are exceptionally weak, if I must say. As he sighed, while on the other hand, you can say the mist shinobi were the same thing. After all, Mitorumi has already won the rebels, so, with the help of Naruto, of course. So, but still, she sent it on the, you can say, behalf of the council. So, She had no choice. While on the other hand, the Jinchuriki of the mist was also down to the ground as Naruto simply looked towards him. He was strong, well, not that much compared to Killer Bee and other shinobi, but he was still young. As Naruto simply sighed, these fights are boring. He was expecting more. He was expecting a challenge. These were Biju's pure energy. But it seemed that in the Elemental Nation, the power he possesses now is really something else. And this shinobi simply cannot challenge him in the term of power and excitement even when he was splitting his power to fourth and suppressing his power to 10% only. He was able to take on Bijus like they were children's, and now he was bored. While on the other side, as Naruto was slamming the, you can say, fist over the face of four-tail monkey, slamming his face to the ground, as Naruto was, you can say, unimpressed. He was greatly disappointed by this all. He was expecting more, but this was just utter bullshit. As Naruto put his hand towards, you can say, his hand, you can say, suddenly shot forward as his arm extended, wrapping the other Jinchuriki and making a blast in his hand and slicing it in half, killing, you can say, of the Biju, but it reverted back into the seal before it was completely killed off, saving the life of the Jinchuriki as Naruto made a blast in his hand. You are disappointment as he slammed the attack to the face of the Biju, killing it, though it also reverted back into the seal as Naruto simply scoffed at that. As both of the, you can say, Jinchuriki were on the ground, as Naruto said, enough of this. As he started to float within the air, slamming his hand together, as most of the shinobis who, you can say, was, as Naruto did not kill all of them, but most of them, tried to send a message to the Elemental Nation. He wanted fun. He wanted to have a fight in his hand, not this utter disappointment. As he slammed his hand together as all the shinobi started to float within the air. You will pay for disappointing me. As all the shinobis were looking towards him in horror as a stream of, you can say, energy rushed towards all of them, turning them into nothing but utter dust. As Naruto simply scoffed at all of them while he looked towards the remaining shinobi that were there as he snapped his finger as all of them, most of them came to their, you can say, half of their health. Get out of my nation and send a message to your respective leaders. All of you are just weaklings, and this is the message of the strength of the empire. Stand against us, and we shall turn you into utter dust. Now get out of my sight. As all of them quickly ran for their lives, Yujito was glaring towards Naruto. As Naruto simply looked towards her with a, you can say, bored and disappointed look as he simply scoffed towards her and went off towards his empire. While on the other hand, both Killer Bee and Yujito were angry. They were humiliated. They were said to be the strongest Jinchuriki, while Yujito did not have the strongest Biju, but her control over her Biju were perfect, just like the Eight-Tail. But this guy who came out of nowhere and had the power to destroy Bijus, none of the parties aware of the other force who was trying to invade and things like that. But Naruto did not kill off the Jinchuriki because he knew that they would be at least fun in the future, or he simply did not care because in his eyes they were just that, weaklings. While on the other hand, several of the tours were watching the battle. They were not able to see all of the things, but they saw when the figure flew into the air and pulling the shinobis towards them and saying that how they were just weaklings. They were not able to get the description as Naruto's body was surrounded by his immense power. But they saw that he must be the emperor of this place as is all the tours saw the, you can say, the battle that occurred of, you can say, how the shinobis of the other forces were decimated as Naruto's battle was so fast and things like that. Those shinobi were not, you can say, the tours were not able to get a description of him that much, but they have the information how the other elemental nations tried to attack them and how they were decimated. Their forces were so strong at that. He quickly went towards Jiraiya and started to explain the situation. Now, Jiraiya was sweating. He was not expecting this so-called empire to be this much powerful already. How the 50 force of Shinobi was taken over you can say, was able to defeat a force of over 300 like they were nothing. Oh, their Jonins were so fast, they were easily, all the Jonins were A rank, high A rank. While on the other hand, most of them were easily S rank shinobis, as like Zabuza, as well as you can say his apprentice Haku, who was able to, you can say, bring out ice like it was nothing, and she was easily, or rather he was easily S rank shinobi. Both of them were a duel of S rank, as Haku was easily able to, you can say, keep up with Jiraiya, or you can say Zabuza. And now Jiraiya simply gulped. He had to give this information, as well as many of the people were wondering how to provide this information to their respective cages. As Jiraiya burst into the window, as he saw that how Minato was not there, as he said, "Where is Minato?" As one of the Ambu said, "Well, Lord Hokage is in the council room, but you have to wait." He said that, but before he could complete the sentence, Jiraiya was already gone as he burst into the council room as Minato was going over things that how he has taken over the position of Hokage once again and things like that. As Jiraiya speaks, "Minato, I have the information about the new empire." As he looked around to see the clan head, the civilian council, as well as the elder council was there, as Minato gave him an annoyed look as he said, as Hiruzen speaker, "Well, Jiraiya-kun, it seems that you have finally arrived. Hopefully now you would have some information about this whole empire and things like that." As Danzo already had some information, but he did not knew much because even his own spies were unable to enter into the empire. As so he wanted to hear what Jiraiya got the information. As Koharu speak up, "Excuse me, Lord Hokage, but what empire are you talking about?" As Jiraiya said, "Allow me to explain, Minato." As he looked towards the council, "You guys may not know, but few days ago, I was able to gather some information thanks to my spy network that how, out of nowhere, in the middle of a sea, a whole continent has appeared out of nowhere." As Jiraiya waited, as suddenly all the outbursts appeared in the whole council room. Even the shinobi council member were at utter shock as Shikaku Nara speak up, "Lord Jiraiya, are you sure about it? Because I'm not sure even the best of the earth and water users can bring out a continent out of nowhere. It is, you can say, not possible." As Jiraiya simply shook his head, "I have seen it with my own eyes, though I was unable to enter into it. It is not the work of seals or genjutsu or nothing like that. I have grave information." As all the shinobi council finally calmed down, the civilian council members were wondering what is going on here. As he said, "Well, we were able to gather the information that how they have already stabilized Shinobi system, and even my spy network was unable to gather information much about it. So I decided to go it myself, but it seemed that the other elemental nations were already." But before he could say anything, as Danzo speak up, "Well, Lord Hokage, if such is the case, then we should prepare our forces and march toward it if they are new, which means that how they will not have technological advancement, as well as the shinobis must be weak, and they will not have that much civilians since the shinobis were able to gather the information, which means that they must not have a lot of civilians there. So we should get there and take over as quick as possible." But before anyone could say anything, as Jiraiya speak up, "Yeah, just about that. I was about to give the information." As it seemed that the other elemental nations had the same idea just as Danzo, and it did not go so well for them. As Minato raised an eyebrow, "What do you mean by that, Jiraiya sensei?" As Jiraiya sighed at this said, "Well, I was able to send some of the toads to watch the battle since I was unable to go there myself." As they were able to watch the battle but not completely, it seemed that all of the four other nations tried to invade it or to try to make them surrender or things like that. Aiwa was able to send a force of 700 shinobi and both of their Jinchurikis. At the same time, you can say the Mist Village was able to send 500 of the shinobi and their remaining Jinchuriki. The Sand was able to send over 300 shinobis, all of them Jonins and High Chunins. And Kumo was able to send 800 shinobi with both of their perfect Jinchuriki. There was silence in the room as Danzo said, "So, who won the battle?" After all, there is no way that this so-called, you can say, new continent was able to win such a battle because it is over, you can say, 3000 shinobis, and surely Empire, you can say this continent did not have that much shinobi, right? As Jiraiya shook his head as he said it was completely one-sided battle. As Danzo was about to comment that how they cannot allow the other nations to go strong and this empire won it easily. There was silence in the whole room as Koharu speak up, Jiraiya, are you sure about it? In a single place, there were, you can say, five Jinchurikis at the same time, all of them who had, you can say, at least great control over their bijus, if not perfect control. All of them can go through, you can say, the full tail beast transformation. How is that even possible? As Jiraiya started to explain the battle, Minato, I was really surprised when I was given the information. I have even checked it with one toad. All of them gave the same information. Their Jonins, all of them, are high A rank shinobi. Their Chunin are easily A rank shinobis. While on the other hand, they have multiple S rank shinobis there who can easily be graded as S rank. As Minato said, who are those shinobi? As Jiraiya said, first of all, I thought that other shinobi, Zabuza, was a A rank shinobi, but after seeing the battle and our spy told, it was given the information he is easily S rank now. He has some strange power as well as his apprentice who can use the art style is also a S rank shinobi. Soon enough, both of them would be labeled as S rank. Before Danzo could say that how they are not labeled as S rank. In the forces, they were able to decimate over 100 shinobis with single attacks. So they can easily be graded as S rank shinobis. As well as there were several other shinobis who you can say we did not have name for, but they were easily high A rank, if not low S rank shinobis. And on top of that, their emperor as Minato speak up, what about him? Did you able to get his identity? As Minato, as Jiraiya shook his head, the Toads were unable to see him. He was moving so fast. But all of the Toads has given the same information that the Emperor was fighting on their side. But what I do not understand, he was fighting at four places at the same time. As Danzo said, a shadow clone, huh? As Jiraiya shook his head. I do not know how is that even possible, but those were definitely not shadow clones because each and every one of them fought off Jinchurikis. As one of the toad gave me information that he took on two-tailed Jinchuriki and the eight-tailed Jinchuriki at the same time and defeated them in a single combat as well as when both of the Jinchurikis were at their full power. I mean, full tail-based transformation as there was silence in the whole room. While on the other side, where Aiwa was battle was going on, the same information was given when four-tail and six-tail, you can say Jinchuriki transformed into their full state. He was able to decimate both of them, and same was the case with the Jinchuriki of the mist. As there was silence in the whole room and then erupt into, you can say, chaos. As it took Minato at least 5 minutes to calm all of them down as Hiruzen speak up. Jiraiya, are you absolutely sure about it? As Jiraiya simply shook his head. Sensei, I'm more than sure. Those stores I have been working with for my whole life, they did not give a wrong, you can say, report ever in their whole life. So I am more than sure that how this information is accurate. This, you can say, whole empire has its own working system as well as the emperor simply took on the, you can say, the Jinchurikis while 50 of the shinobis of empire were able to take down 300 over 300 shinobis of Jonin while they were only Chunins as there was silence while on the other hand only 200 shinobis were able to take on 800 shinobis of Jonin and Chunin rank while they were only you can say special Jonin and Chunins. Same is the case with other forces. Their shinobi, their ranking system is a lot stronger than ours, Minato. From what I have been able to gather the information, their Chunin can easily take on our Jonin, regular Jonin, and their, you can say, high Chunin and low Jonin can take on the elite Jonin from here. As there was silence in the whole room, and Koharu as Hamura speak up, Lord Hokage, we have to do something about it. If they are so much powerful, we have to get some secrets about it. As a pink-haired Banshee from the civilian council member store up, yes, Lord Hokage, we have to invade them before they can get even stronger and get their, you can say, secret for ourselves. How they were producing such strong shinobis and things like that, as all of them looked towards her as if she was a crazy person. But then again, she was a banshee. As Jiraiya speak up, well, I have just given the information why we should not attack the Empire, and you are still saying the same bullshit. As he looked towards her as if she has no brain. As you can say, this was the mother of Sakuya Haruno. As she glared towards Jiraiya as if it was gonna do anything to the Sanin. As Jiraiya simply scoffed at that. As Hamura, speak up. As I said, well, Lord Hokage, it seems that the other elemental nations tried a, you can say, attack strategy, but we should send a treaty to the empire if it is so already so strong. Then we can also, you can say, take advantage of that since the empire has just been attacked by the four nations at the same time. Then they would not trust them, and with such a trade, we can even increase our own power if we can make them agree to share their training schedule with ours. Then we would be able to increase the quality of our shinobis even further. While on the other hand, Danzo was thinking in the same lines. If he could send his own, you can say, route, then he can get those secrets for himself. Then he would be able to train his route even further. As Minato thought it for some time. To be honest, he did not want to attack a nation just like that, even though it has appeared out of nowhere, which is quite suspicious. So even if it is the case, then he should not do anything about it for now. As he closes his eyes, you're saying the same thing. Alright then. What about the council? Let us put it to the vote. As most of the clan heads, you can say, said that how they should try to send a peace treaty to them and an alliance, while on the other hand, most of the civilian council members did not wanted that, but they simply ignored them. While on the other hand, Danzo also agreed with that. Koharu reluctantly also agreed because she did not like that some other nation who has just appeared out of nowhere has so much strong shinobis and forces under their command. But surely Konoha simply can take them on right after all, even if they have the quality, but still Konoha still have the numbers, as most of them thought in their mind how wrong they actually were, but it did not matter, as Jiraiya said, alright, it is past then, huh? As Minato speak up, alright Jiraiya sensei, you will go with the scroll of the treaty. Afterward, you will bring me the response, but try to get some information from there as well. And try to see how this empire is all about and how it is like. And Jiraiya thought it for some time and nodded nonetheless. And he said, alright Minato, I will try my best. As they simply nodded at that, while on the other hand, Donzo was thinking of the ways how he can send his root goons to the Empire and take what he wants from them. While on the other hand, Jiraiya as well as Hiruzen Kushina finally arrived to the room as Hiruzen speaker, well Jiraiya, did you left something out from the council? As Jiraiya simply shook his head, not to be honest, I did not left out anything. As Kushina speaker, what about the identity? If he was there in the battling, surely he must have seen the features. As Jiraiya simply shook his head. The battle of the Emperor was so fast that the tours were unable to watch it, but they did saw the tail wheels getting plumber. As she simply nodded at that, as Jiraiya said, but I did get a small bit of information. As Kushina, as well as all of them, now were looking towards him. What I left out was a small piece of information that Emperor somehow was able to produce chains out of nowhere in the mid of air, was able to, you can say, even restrain the Bijus, but then he released them, saying that how he wanted a bit of fun with them. At this, there was silence in the room as Kushina gasped as she said, wait a minute, are you saying that Emperor is somehow related to the Uzumaki clan because only the Uzumaki clans could make chains like that? As Jiraiya said, I do not know Kushina. He did not make them from his body, but he was able to bring them out in the mid-air. So, even if he's related to the Uzumaki clan, then his Kekkei Genkai must be quite advanced, if I must say. As Kushina thought it for some time, wondering if some of the members of her clan were still out there, as Minato shook his head, well, Jiraiya said, so, I will give you this mission, but there will be a secondary mission as well. As Jiraiya said, and what would that be, Minato? As Minato said, you have to look in the Empire to see if Naruto is there or not. As there was silence in the whole room once again, as Kushina looked away with guilt, while on the other hand, Hiruzen did not say anything because this was not his problem, of course. As but soon enough it would be. Well, anyways, as Jaya simply sighed but nodded nonetheless. But before they can say anything, as the door was slammed open, as Minato glared towards the room, but he was a bit surprised to see Naruko as Menma stepped forward. Hey dad, what's up? As all of them looked towards them, as Naruko noticed the tension in the room, as she said, well, we just wanted to told you that we wanted a party. After all, we have just graduated from the academy, so we were wondering if you can throw a party just like old times. After all, as in this whole week, there was a bit of tension between the Uzumaki and the Namikaze family, as seeing that Kushina hired truth from Minato, so they were fighting over some things, as well as Minato was ignoring both Menma and Naruko at the same time, as which they did not like, as Minato noticed that both of them had gone quite spoiled at the time. But before Minato could say anything that how this was not the right time or things like that, as Kushina said, well dear, we simply cannot throw a full out party at the moment, Menma Naruko. There is some, you can say, business which is being taken care of, but we can always go to a family outing, right? As Menma and Naruko were not that happy about it because they wanted their friends to come to see that how they were the prince and princess of the village. But they nodded nonetheless, seeing the look on the face of their father, which was carefully blank, as which they did not like that much and made them a bit nervous. As Jiraiya noticed the attitude which Minato had towards both of them as Menma and Naruko went off, as Jiraiya glared towards Minato a little. Minato, what is wrong with you? Both of them, I have already told you, both of them are the child of the but before he could complete the sentence, as Minato slammed his face to the table. Enough of that bullshit. Already, Jiraiya sensei, I've already told you, do not say that name in front of me ever again. As you said that they're the child of destiny, so be it. I have trained them already. So they will complete their destiny when the time comes. But at the moment, you and I have duties to this village and we shall complete them now. As there was silence in the room. You and I both have already neglected our duties as the Hokage and Spy Master. So get out there and do your work as a Spy Master. And this time, bring me that damn information. As there was silence in the whole room, as Kushina was taken aback from, you can say, the sudden mood swing which Minato had of that anger. As Jiraiya nodded nonetheless, saying that he was pushing the issue at the moment, but nodded nonetheless. But before he could leave, as he speak up, Minato, you must trust me on this one. Just do not, you can say, put put Menma and Naruko against the village with your attitude. But before Minato could say anything, as Jiraiya quickly jumped out of the you can say window, as Minato simply scoffed at that. As he looked towards Kushina, who was, you can say, simply looking down. As Minato did not say anything, Kushina, you may leave now. As Kushina simply nodded at that. While on the other hand, Hiruzen sighed, Minato, what is wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? As Minato did not say anything, well, Lord Hurt, you should leave as well. I have some work to do. As Hiruzen simply sighed and nodded nonetheless, and went off, wondering what is wrong with Minato at the moment, while on the other hand Jiraiya was moving through the forest trying to move towards the whole empire and things like that. He wanted to train Menma and Naruko more about how to control the ninth chakra. In this all time of training, they were able to master the Rasengan as well as different taijutsu, chakra control exercises, and even were able to control two tail worth of 9 times chakra. So which was quite great. On the third tail, they always lose control, and the fourth tail was out of questions to begin with, as Jiraiya did not know why or what was wrong about the whole situation, why they were unable to control such power. But then again, he thought that it must be the nine tails who is strongest of all the tail base, which means that it would take a lot of training to do so. He simply put that at the back of his mind. Damn it, Minato, you have to understand, both of them are the child of destiny. They have to save the world when the time comes, and you are making things difficult for us now. As He simply shook his head. At the moment, I have a mission. I will think about it and talk with you later. As he thought that in his mind. But yeah, guys, here I will left this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, you guys already know the like goal, which is gonna be, let's say about it, 300 likes and 150 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. And yeah, guys, if you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be a lot helpful to me. And yeah, guys, please, you can say, take care of yourself and subscribe to the channel. I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below, so please follow me on Instagram as well. And yeah, guys, peace.